is that the white race is the most violent and oppressive force of nature.
Oh my gosh, whites are inherently evil. Total, complete racism. Did you just hear what that lady said? Or that man? Or that creature? Literally just said whites are the most evil thing on earth. What if I said trannies are the most evil force in the universe? I don't really believe that, but see how bigoted you are, thughead? The globalists are desperate. It's a social engineer program funded by Google, Facebook, Twitter, the big mega banks, to have the football players take a knee during the anthem, to create racial division, to create class warfare. Well, now the taxpayer-funded BBC, nasty organization that it is, where you have to pay them a yearly fee if you even own a television set, even if you don't watch BBC. The anti-British, anti-American, anti-freedom-based organization that openly is waging war against the family, you name it, they have now come out with a piece urging football players, soccer players in their country to take a knee. Rather than draping themselves in the flag, British sports stars should take a knee. So this is what they're saying on the BBC, the garbage they're pushing for the globalist to bring down the nation state. Here it is.
British sports stars should take a knee during the national anthem. After President Trump attacked NFL players who joined Colin Kaepernick's refusal to stand during the US national anthem, he sparked a wave of protest. The players stress that they are not protesting either the anthem or the flag, but racial injustice in America and their right to freedom of expression.
All right, pause. Kaepernick gave money to a cop killer group, a group whose head they praise as a cop killer. This is all globalist division. This moron thinks he's helping people. He doesn't get, it's not meant to bring in the black power in England. It's meant to create racism and balkanization and turn everybody against each other and kill unifying events like sports, kill their unifying effect, idiot. You're doing the exact thing you think you're fighting, you stupid twerp. Let's go back to the BBC moron.
America and their right to freedom of expression. But why not protest the flag? Racism.
All right, back it up again. They have freedom of speech outside of the football field. They work for that company. If I ran a catering service that did events, say at baseball games for kids or whatever, and the people selling hot dogs took a knee, I'd say, you know what? You're causing a disturbance. You work for me. You're fired. You want to go demonstrate and do it on your own time? Do it. It's a load of bull. I'm so sick of these people that think it's so high and mighty to run around stirring up trouble. Why don't you go to an African country where they still have slavery and protest there, bro? Or why don't you go to the Middle East? Oh, no, that's politically incorrect. You wouldn't do that with all the 7 acid attacks every day in London. You'd rather have folks hate a country that's been open and free. Let's continue.
Protest the flag. Racism is so deeply ingrained that it is part of the DNA of the nation.
Okay, so they put up the American flag and the stars and stripes are made up with the words racism. So again, a total attack that America in its DNA is bad, so it's got to be overturned by something. What is that? That's the globalist. I'm going to come back and play this unedited. I'm going to come back, shut up, and play it. Then we've got an economist, researcher, lady that's worked at the highest levels of globalism, managing tens of billions of dollars, Catherine Austin Fitch, to get into the global economy, what the globalists are up to. We'll also take your phone calls and more. Second hour is only about a minute and a half away. Please spread the word. I'm awake. Are you? So the globalists are destroying the nation states. And so last week on the BBC, it's a trans model named Burger Dork. I'm not kidding. Saying that England's just too bad, get rid of it entirely. There's no way to fix it. Just demolish the culture. That's called a takeover, okay? No, how about you stop trying to dominate our lives? But this week, it's this professor, again, government, state-funded, trying to destroy the nation state, telling you how evil and racist America is with an image of an American flag made up of the word racism behind them. Here it is.
British sports stars should take a knee during the national anthem.
Trying to kick off the race war in the UK.
After President Trump attacked NFL players who joined Colin Kaepernick's refusal to stand.
No, they attacked him for saying it was wrong.
He sparked a wave of protest.
He had his free speech.
The players stress that they are not protesting either the anthem.
And now the NFL's losing most of its money and going bankrupt.
and their right to freedom of expression.
So CBS.
But why not protest the flag? Racism is so deeply ingrained that it is part of the DNA of the nation.
Oh.
Britain is no different. The police may not kill as many black people, but is that only because they do not routinely carry guns?
Statistically, the rarest way for a black person to die is by a cop.
Education and wealth that plagues African Americans is strongly felt by black people in Britain. All of this injustice,
liberalism plagues black people.
Direct legacy of the British Empire that often made its place in the world through genocide, slavery, and
Britain was the first country to ban slavery. Everybody else did it. But you hope folks don't know that.
People are yearning to roll back the clock to when Britannia ruled the world.
Roll back the clock?
So, rather than draping themselves in
No, bringing in third world populations and then teaching them to hate everybody, that's rolling back the clock.
Should take a knee or clench a fist. The flag is not a symbol of pride, but oppression. An anthem praising the monarch is not unifying, but divisive. A nation that will not deal with the realities of its racism is not one that the children of the colonies...
But then why do you want to come into the country so bad if it's so bad?
Never again will I stand...
Never again, like it's the Nazis. All right, that's enough. Good. Never again. Get the hell out of the country, you little globalist. Now, let's go to the other delicate genius pushing race baiting and everything. The trans, because, we can't have mothers and fathers. We can't have sexes. We got to confuse everything and then weaponize it. Here is Bergendork up there telling you that England is pure evil.
Britain. No doubt it's a country that likes to think of itself as inclusive, but that depends where you're standing.
But there's never good enough. Do what I say. I run your life.
Me, as a transgender mixed-race person, we live in a deeply racist society.
Yes, and I'm your boss. I will tell you what's good and what's bad.
The government's race audit for England identified discrimination against people of colour in many of our institutions, ranging from...
And if you go to most areas of Africa, blacks will hack you up with machetes.
Does this surprise you? It's old news to me and almost a bad joke to identify it now. It's something that we've known for years, but the political will has not been there to deal with it.
And now we've got to make you guilty and beat you over the head.
Why should we expect anything else from a country that's built its success on the enslavement of non-white
So you got mega banks taking everybody over. They're conquering everybody right now. The corporate Borg's here taking over. It wants us to fight with each other. This is what's happening. We're being colonialized by globalism. We're being totally enslaved. And anything that was good before is being removed.
And people like me who call out racism would be listened to.
Call out racism.
Or threatened.
Hey, you are. You're force-fed by state-run media that wants to totally conquer the people.
Improvement for people of color. They need to understand that racism is not learned.
Oh, see, only improve for people of color. Racism.
Or unconsciously passed down through privilege. The uncomfortable truth is that the white race is the most violent and oppressive force of nature.
Oh my gosh, whites are inherently evil. Total, complete racism. Did you just hear what that lady said? Or that man? Or that creature? Literally just said whites are the most evil thing on earth. What if I said trannies are the most evil force in the universe? I don't really believe that, but see how bigoted you are, thughead? You thug with a wig on?